Now, the right-wingers who get naked and monitor this program every night are sitting there going, oh, come on, boy, get to the good stuff. I don't want to hear about that. Come on, do liberal tricks for us. Come on, talk about that environmental crap. Go after God again. We love it when you go after God. This next one, when I first saw this story, I thought it was another story about Limbaugh. Pink slime, it's called. That's the ammonia-treated meat that shows up in a bright Pepto-Bismol shade. It's referred to in the industry as pink slime. It's been rejected by fast food joints like McDonald's and Taco Bell and Burger King. We talked about this a couple of months ago. But it's being brought in by the ton for the nation's school lunch program. Pink slime, ammoniated meat, quotes around meat. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is purchasing 7 million pounds of slime for school lunches, according to The Daily, officially termed lean beef trimmings. The product is a ground-up combination of beef scraps, cow connective tissues, and other beef trimmings that are treated with ammonium hydroxide to kill pathogens like Salmonella and E. coli. It's then blended into traditional meat products like ground beef and hamburger patties. A microbiologist who worked at the Food Safety Inspection Service for 35 years told the Daily, quote, we originally called it Soylent Pink. We looked at the product and we objected to it because it used connective tissue instead of muscle. It was simply not nutritionally equivalent to ground beef. My main objection was that it was not meat. Oh, Jesus, God. There's more of this. Pink slime. Now, a couple of years ago, the New York Times reported that despite the added ammonia treatment, tests of lean beef trimmings at schools across the country revealed dozens of instances of E. coli and Salmonella pathogens. Seriously, if you have a kid or a grandkid in school, you may want to make sure he or she never buys a school lunch.
World, it is exploding, violence flaring, bullets loading. You're old enough to...
Don't go to bed angry. Let Mike do it for you. It's Mike Malloy.
10 before the hour. This hour has been sponsored by Anonymous in Seattle. And the message that comes with it, the right counts on apathy and disillusionment to get their way. Thanks for fighting back. You bet, Anonymous. I am armed and I am dangerous. Pink slime. Yeah, when I saw the headline, I thought, oh, my God, not another story about Limbaugh or possibly Beck. No, this is stuff that goes into so-called hamburger patties or ground beef products that kids are given in public schools in the lunch department. Connective tissue, eyelids, beef scraps, glottises and epiglottises and little valves inside the body that open and shut to let stuff pass through, right? Carl Custer, a microbiologist who worked at the Food Safety Inspection Service for 35 years, said he and his partner, another microbiologist, concluded in a study that the trimmings, the stuff, is a, quote, high-risk product, end quote. But the scientists were pressured to approve this stuff with minimal safety approval under President George Herbert Walker Bush's administration. Of course, the USDA asserts that its ground beef purchases, quote, meet the highest standards for food safety, end quote. Now, according to this, controversy surrounding pink slime stems from various safety concerns, particularly dangers associated with ammonium hydroxide, which can both be harmful to eat and has the potential to turn into ammonium nitrate. That's a common component in homemade bombs that right-wing cowardly bastards make and then, plant them in synagogues or federal office buildings and watch them go boom. It's also used in household cleaners and fertilizers. Between 2005 and 2009, E. coli was found 3 times and Salmonella 48 times, according to the New York Times, in this garbage, including 2 contaminated batches of 27,000 pounds of, quote, meat, end quote. So news of the Department of Agriculture's plan to bring 7 million pounds of pink slime to school cafeterias nationwide comes just weeks after the government announced new guidelines to ensure students are given healthier options for school meals. The new standards call for more whole grains and produce, as well as less sodium and fat. A recent report by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention revealed that more than a third of high school students were eating vegetables less than once a day. And if they eat this stuff at a public school, they're eating, I don't know, would you feed this stuff? You know what this would be good for? This would be good to set out in open boxes near a dump, and then wait for rats or right-wingers, you take your pick, to show up and eat it. Now, if it's rats, then you do what we used to do. We used to call it plinking. That's where you sit with a 22 with a scope on it. And when the rats come up to at the dump, you put your little 22 bullet right in the back of their heads. And you may say I'm a cruel son of a bitch, but I found that to be exceedingly pleasurable. Because I figure every rat that I kill is one less rat that'll spread its filth and disease over the airwaves. Oops, I mean, in the neighborhood. Woo-hoo! But we used to call it plinking, and it usually involved a lot of beer. And now, if you're part of the rat lobby and you're going to send me an email now and say, oh, you shouldn't kill our little furry vertebrate cousins, I would say to you, no, you're wrong. A rat is a rat, no matter if it's 4 legs or 2. A rat is a rat. So anyway, that's what this pink slime reminds me of, something that would be used to attract rats. Soylent pink. Oh, no, well, here's Prairie, too. It isn't that eating connective tissue is any big deal. That's the stuff that holds the steak together. It's how they acquire this stuff. When the carcass is moving down the chain, there's a moving walkway underneath that catches the trimmings. This includes any bits of intestines, organs, or the contents of same that weren't removed completely on the previous section of the processing. This all has to be cleaned out before it reaches the USDA inspector, or the carcass will be rejected for more work or condemned for non-human use. The stuff on the moving floor contains bits of these trimmings and any manure or such leakage from cysts and such that the cattle had. It's supposed to go to tankage, cheap dog food, soap and such. Now it's known as school lunch. Oh, my God. All right. Stick around. We have another hour. We're going to take some phone calls, I think, this next hour. So if you want to join in, 877-996-2556 is the number. 877-996-2556. Stay with us. I'm Mike Malloy.